Siliguri Corridor, India's new strategy. Introduction: the lifeline at risk. The Siliguri Corridor, a narrow 22-kilometer-wide strip in northern West Bengal, is one of the most vital yet vulnerable stretches of land in India. Nicknamed the Chicken's Neck, it connects the Indian mainland to the entire northeastern region, home to over 50 million people. Any disruption here could isolate India's northeast from the rest of the country, with grave implications for national security, connectivity, and strategic depth. In today's shifting geopolitical climate, that threat has become more urgent than ever. Political radicalism brews in the south. To the south of the corridor lies Bangladesh, a nation that has historically cooperated with India. But recent developments have raised serious concerns in New Delhi. Muhammad Yunus, the chief advisor to Bangladesh's caretaker government, has been appointed with the backing of Jamaat-e-Islami, a hardline Islamist group with a history of anti-India rhetoric. During a state visit to China, Yunus made a comment referring to India's northeast as landlocked. Though seemingly casual, the remark was viewed by Indian analysts as a strategic provocation. Under his leadership, radical voices have grown louder. There are concerns that if upcoming elections bring Islamist factions to power, Bangladesh's political alignment could turn overtly hostile toward India. This would place a radicalized government right next to the Siliguri Corridor, potentially enabling infiltration, cross-border militancy, and coordination with anti-India elements within Indian territory. Military infrastructure raises red flags. Adding to the tension is the reopening of a long-abandoned airfield near the Siliguri border inside Bangladeshi territory. Though officially labeled a civilian project, its strategic location and potential capabilities suggest military utility, including drone operations, surveillance, and rapid troop deployment. Reports also suggest Chinese involvement in upgrading this infrastructure, raising fresh alarms about strategic encirclement. Encirclement looms from the north. To the north, China has steadily expanded its military presence near the India-Bhutan-China tri-junction, particularly around Doklam, the site of a tense standoff in 2017. Chinese road construction, patrols, and village outposts close to the Bhutanese border indicate a long-term strategy to pressure India. In a conflict scenario, China could attempt to cut off the Siliguri Corridor, effectively severing India's northeast from the mainland. Tensions rise in the east. The Arakan Army factor. On the eastern flank, the situation in Myanmar's Rakhine state adds to India's challenges. The Arakan Army, an ethnic insurgent group, now controls key towns like Palitwa, Kyaukta, and Mongda, which lie along the route of India's Caledon multimodal transit corridor. Though India maintains quiet cooperation with the Arakan Army to safeguard its investments, shifting control in western Myanmar adds unpredictability to the project. India's strategic response, from bypass to buffer. In response to these converging threats, India is implementing a broad strategy to reduce dependence on vulnerable routes and strengthen regional security, the sea-to-land Caledon Corridor. At the heart of this strategy is the Caledon Multimodal Transit Project. It connects Kolkata to Mizoram via the Sitwe port on Myanmar's coast, followed by river transport to Palitwa and then a road to the Indian border. This alternative route bypasses Bangladesh entirely and reduces the strategic pressure on the Siliguri Corridor. Despite instability in Myanmar, India is committed to completing the corridor, using local partnerships and diplomatic leverage to keep it viable. Northeast's first high-speed corridor. Complementing maritime links, India is building a high-speed 4-lane expressway along National Highway 6, from Malingkong near Shillong to Panchgram near Silchar. This is the first such expressway in the region and will boost military mobility and economic integration. Internally, stronger infrastructure means India can rely less on the Siliguri Corridor and quickly mobilize resources within the northeast. Military modernization and surveillance. India has also upgraded Bagdogra and Hasamara air bases, increased troop readiness in Eastern Command, and deployed long-range surveillance drones to monitor movements across borders. Border fencing, night vision surveillance, and rapid tactical road construction are being carried out around the corridor. These measures form a layered defense system to deter any aggressive maneuvering near this sensitive area. Diplomatic tightrope and local partnerships. On the diplomatic front, India is carefully recalibrating its relationships. With Bangladesh, it has restricted certain exports and emphasized the viability of alternate trade routes. In Myanmar, India maintains formal ties with the ruling junta, while also cultivating ground-level alliances with groups like the Arakan Army. This dual-track diplomacy allows India to protect critical infrastructure projects without getting drawn into Myanmar's internal conflict. Conclusion: a corridor secured, a message sent. The Siliguri Corridor is more than a geographical choke point. It is a symbol of India's unity, a critical access route to the east, and a focus of strategic contestation. Today, that corridor faces political, military, and ideological threats. But India is not standing still. Through infrastructure development, military modernization, and diplomatic agility, it is transforming this vulnerable strip into a fortified lifeline. The message is clear. India will not allow its geography to be weaponized. It will act with resilience, innovation, and strategic clarity to secure its national interest. If you found this insightful, subscribe to GeoPol Insights, where untold stories meet global truth.